So Simple tutorial. Good morning students. Welcome to SST So Simple tutorial. In the previous class we had discussed wartime transformation and the post-war recovery, in which we read about two camps who fought the war. We saw the scale of death: 9 million dead, 20 million injured. The war also inflicted huge economic cost on the fighting European powers. The US changed into an international creditor after the war. Today, we are going to read the next topic: rise of mass production and consumption. So let us get started. Dear students, after a short period of economic troubles after the war, the US recovered faster. What actually helped the US in its faster economic growth was mass production based on assembly line practice. Economic boom in the US in the 1920s was the result of mass produced consumer goods like cars, fridge, washing machines, radio, etc. These products were available in the most affordable price to the consumers. In addition, easy and cheap loans were also available to the consumers. So before we proceed further, we must know the person who was pioneer of mass production. He was Henry Ford. He had a car manufacturing plant at Detroit in the US. He adopted the assembly line practice in producing cars. Now let us see what this assembly line is, how the system works here. A car under production moves on a conveyor belt. Workers line up along the conveyor belt. As the car body appears before them, each of them fits in the component that he is expected to do, and then let the car pass to the next worker, who then does his part of job. So one worker doesn't do the entire work. A worker on an assembly line does his part only, repeatedly, mechanically. A worker does not move, rather the work moves. A worker has to just stand in front of the conveyor belt. This results in faster production. Output per worker increases. As a result of adopting this method, Ford was able to produce cars at an interval of 3 minutes. The first mass-produced car was T model Ford car. But from the workers' point of view, there were some problems. The workers had to work according to the speed of the conveyor belt. He could not relax. He could not take a break. He could not turn his head and chat with his workmate. That is why they worked mechanically. Initially, workers could not cope with the pace of the assembly line operations. They started to quit in large numbers. So what Ford did, he acted smartly. He doubled the wage rate to attract more workers. He also banned trade unions in his plant. And to recover the high wage, he speeded up the production line. The net result was that in spite of paying higher wages, his cost of production remained the same. This is why he described his decision as the best cost-cutting decision. Ford's practice of production soon spread in the US as well as in Europe. Mass production lowered the cost of engineered goods. Car production in the US rose from 2 million in 1919 to more than 5 millions in 1929. Similar was the case with other consumer goods. There was an increased demand for fridge, washing machine, cars, etc. Then this was followed with the boom in house construction, all of which were available on easy loans. This brought prosperity in the US. Thus, mass production helped a lot in the economic recovery of the US. In 1923, US was exporting capital to the rest of the world and became the largest overseas lender. But all this did not last long. By 1929, the world plunged into a depression. We shall discuss that in the next class. So this was all for today. Let me stop here today. Time for probable questions now. 1. How has the US economy resumed its strong growth in the early 1920s? Explain with examples. 2. Describe in brief the world economic conditions of the post First World War period. Now it's your time to read your textbook and prepare answer to these questions. In the next class, we will discuss the next topic, the Great Depression. Till then, keep reading and have a nice time. Thank you.